Well, everyone, in this video, we are going to see about Spring Boot with ReactJS integration. It is a continuation of Experiment 8. Already we have done Experiment 8 with these details. That means we had created a product entity class with ID and name, and this product entity table is automatically got created in the database under FSAD demo, which already had one value in it. How it is getting the value is from the app controller. This controller class is going to be the base for the interaction, user interaction. Here we are doing four kinds of user interaction: post mapping for insert, put mapping for update, delete mapping for deleting, and then get mapping to retrieve all the data and display it. So these data which are arriving to the controller, for example, post mapping will insert the data. The data is arriving to the controller from the postman. The arrived data is being passed to the service class object and function to do the database operation. Here is the service class which will do the database operation. This repo one is nothing but a repository which is created for the product table. This is the repository which extends JPA repository, which is created for the product table, and integer is the primary key. And when you do repo1.save, it will save the data in the database. Such like we are doing four operations in service class, which will be called from the controller. Now, all this which I explained you until is the experiment 8. Now, we need to proceed with experiment 9. That is, instead of sending these data from JSON, that means as JSON format from Postman, instead of sending to the Postman, we are going to send this data from the front end. So I want to design the front end to send this data. The backend is going to be saved, which I'm not going to modify anything here. Only I'm going to create the front end which suits the need. For that purpose, I'm going to my front end folder and I will open this experiment folder. So this is my experiment folder, and here I'm having the components for EX1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I will create a new folder called EX9. Under EX9, I will create four files. One is insert.jsx. Another one is update.jsx. Another one is delete.jsx. Another one show.jsx. I'm having four files in it. Let me first do the insert operation. So I'm coming into insert operation. Now I will create the function for insert. Now I can use React function component RFC to create the functional component. Now I have to create the ID value and the name text boxes to get the data. So I'm going to create ID input type text name ID n. This is the ID. Then one BR tag. Let me have two BR tags. Then name. Similarly, we will have the input box for name. Now I will have one submit button. I will say the button name as save. While on clicking the button, I will call the I will call the save data function. Save data function. This save data function, I will write it here. Save data function, spelling mistake, FUNCKY function. Save data function will have two variables. One is ID, that is nothing but document dot get elements by name. What is the name of the element? You are having the name of the element as ID. Yeah. This value, that means the value which the user types in this text box, is going to be retrieved here. IDN. Document corresponds to the entire page. Dot get elements by name. What is the name? IDN. And what is the sequence of the retrieved data? For example, I can have this also as IDN. Then the first one is sequence 0. The second one is sequence 1. A page can have multiple names in multiple elements and same name in multiple elements also possible. Okay. Assuming it may have multiple or same name, yeah. Okay. Even though you are having the data, that means the name has different one. Okay. You need to use the index position value as zeroth index or first index. That means the occurrence value, because the one which you say here will retrieve the list of elements. So I'm saying zeroth occurrence dot value. Then second one, same way I will say, this time it will be name. Document dot get elements by name. I will say name of 0 dot value. Now I am having ID and name, which I need to send it to the server. For sending it to the server, I need to go with ReactJS request. See, when I write ReactJS, it is automatically importing in the top because I have selected the ReactJS. You can use control space to suggest you pick it. Okay. If it is not coming, it is not installed. So you have to go to your command prompt. That means you have to open the experiment folder. Then inside, you have to open the command prompt. And here you have to write npm I AXIOS ReactJS. This will actually install the ReactJS package in a particular directory. And then you can use ReactJS dot. This is insert. So post operation. See here I'm using post because the same post I had used in the controller, app controller, post mapping of product. Here I'm having one URL, the same URL I will be using. So copy the URL. So the post mapping, see, give control space, you'll get suggestion. Just give double quotes and have the first parameter as the URL. Okay, comma. The second parameter is the data. See, it is showing data here. It is having question mark because it is optional. and colon any corresponds to any type of data. And I am going to use dictionary type, JSON type. So I will use flower brace. Then inside the flower brace, I will give enter. Now I can send key value pairs. I am saying key as ID and value as the ID. That means the ID variable here. Okay, comma. Next one, key as name and the value as name variable. So I'm passing two data here. But remember, I have to pass ID as integer. But as of now, I'm passing it as a string. Why I need to pass it as integer? Because here in the product class, you are having two variables. One is integer primary key and another one is string. So you have to pass the same way. That means you have to pass the ID as integer. See, now I'm going to use parse it to convert the string. You can able to see parse float, parse in. I will use parse in function where I will pass the string value to convert that to integer. So I have passed two values now. This is the request which is sent from client to server. And from the server, we need to receive the response for that purpose. Dot then function. Then function will have arrow function inside it. This is the first parameter of the then function. That is arrow function. Arrow function will not have name. It will be called automatically when some event is triggered. That event is the response here. And this arrow function, I'm going to write res. Res corresponds to response. Inside, I'm going to write console.log or else alert. I will write alert res.data. Res.data is the exact response which is received from server to client. Res is a complete response. Res.data is the data part of the response which we are retrieving. Okay. So now that will be displayed in the alert box. Okay. Now we need to check this whether it is working or not for insertion. How to check this? We need to call this insert function from main.jsx here inside strict mode. I need to call insert, use control space and pick it so it will get imported automatically. See importer insert from components ex9 insert is imported. Now insert function will get called. If it get called, insert page will run. When insert page is running, this part will get displayed, the page. Once this part is get displayed, and when we click the save data button, it will send the data to server, and server should send the response back to client. Now, to check this, first we have to run the server, and our database should be enabled. Already my database is enabled, and there is one data in the database. Now I need to run the server, so I'm right clicking ex8. Go to run as and Spring Boot app. Now it is running. Okay, it is running. It is running in the port 8081, right? Already I given here 8081 slash product. So let me run the client also. npm run dev. Now client is starting and it is running. Let me open the client by giving O. It will open the client of the browser. It is not displaying anything. The problem is in the main.jsx, we enclosed everything into the customer for our previous experiment. If it is not enclosed, it will be displaying. Since I had enclosed, I will just call the customer once. So it will get displayed. It is displaying now. Now I'm giving ID value 1. Already 1 is there, so I'm giving 2. Name, student, or product 2. Product 2. I'll click on save button. It should go to the server and it should come back. In the server, I have to check whether there is any error or not. There is no error occurred. Okay. Since there is no data displayed, we have to check it. I'm going to inspect and then console. Even though there is no error occurred in the server, here you can see the error occurred in the console. It is saying it has been blocked by CORS policy, that is cross origin resource sharing policy, because your React is running in 5173 port, your server is running in 8081 port. Both are different websites. So the server is not serving the data to React. Now we need to allow this CORS to allow this where this interaction is actually happening. This interaction is going to servers app controller. So I'll go to app controller and then I will add one more annotation, cross origin. This annotation will enable the React to communicate to the server and server will respond back. Just save it, your server will restart automatically. Now once again, you will check by clicking the save method. Before that, I will just refresh the console. Click on save method. Now you are getting inserted successfully message in the alert box. So click OK and then check on the database whether it is inserted or not. Go to database, click on the product table, open the table. You have got the second data inserted. Now it is very simple to create other pages. Now I'm having insert page. I will just go to update. In update page, I will again say React function component RFC and I will create a basic structure. I will just copy whatever I'm having in the insert in the return block and I will use the same code, the update. Here, save data is replaced as update data and save is replaced as update. Now I need the function update data. So function update data. Inside the function, I will use the same code which I had in insert. Copy the inside function code. And the same I had pasted in update. Now auxius.post is there, na? That one I have to change it to auxius.put method because put method is going to use for update. And just go near auxius, yes, and then click control space. It will suggest you click enter, it will automatically put in the top. Now put method will send the data to this particular URL and you see that URL in the controller. The put method URL is here. It will update the data in the database. So do that. Just I need to check this page. I will go to main.jsx. Main.jsx. You just type update and I will give enter. It will be imported on the top. Save it and check what is happening in the front end. You got the update button. I will try to update the number 1 with the product 11 instead of product 1. I will give 1. Before doing that, I will in okay, correct. In ID, I will give 1. In name, I will give product 11. Then I will click on update. It is saying updated successfully. Click on OK and check the database. It is showing 11. So it is that simple when you done the first page. Just you will do one more page very easily to delete. Check what you have to pass for delete. In delete mapping, you are passing ID value. You are passing ID value in the URL like this. Okay, so you have to pass ID value to delete like this. Okay, so I will go to delete. I will just write functional React functional component RFC. Then same data from update. I will copy inside data for the return to delete. But delete does not require name. So I'm removing the name. Then I will say on click equal to delete data. Then I will copy this function update data and I will paste it into delete function. Then I will change the update to delete. Then where name, the second one is not actually required. So I will remove, only ID is enough. Then args dot, what I have to write? I have to write delete. Then click near yes, args yes. Then give control space and enter, it will import. Now in the URL, okay, I need to pass what value? See, I need to pass the one like this in the URL, okay, as a path variable. How to do that is just keep one more slash, and here you need to have ID value, that is 1 or 2 something, that is nothing but the ID variable. Since it is a JavaScript variable, use flower brace, but this will also be considered as string to make this as the normal variable and not as a string. Okay, the ID should get substituted with its value. To make the ID to get substituted with its value, okay, you just change the single quotes, you just change this double quotes to backticks, okay, and then use dollar symbol before flower brace. So this makes a particular one as a variable. Okay, this backticks is above your tab key in your keyboard near number 1. Okay, below escape. So you can click that to get this backticks. It is not single quotes, it is backticks. Then the data is not required here. I can just pass the empty data because I'm already passing the ID value in the URL. Okay. Then method response, these things are okay. I'll just save it. And I want to check this delete data. I have to go to main.jsx to call delete here. Now I had imported delete as well. I saved it. I will check the output now. I'm having one ID and then delete button. I want to delete number 1. So I'm clicking 1 and update. I should change this to delete now. So I will change the display name of update to display name of the button to delete. Okay. Now Deleted successfully, it's showing to me. Click OK. Now check on the database. Already it is having two values. Now I will refresh the table. Just I'm having one value in the table. It is deleted. Now I want to create just one more page to show the data. I will go to show page. I will just create one more React component, React functional component RFC, and then click enter. So here I need to have the data to show. How to show? Just I'm going to have one stateful component that is called the result comma set result, which is initially null by making the use state of null. When you are saying use state, you have to import that. When the result is null, that means first time when the page is rendering, it will be null. When the result is null, you are going to send one request to fetch the data and fill this result. So what request you are going to send? Obvious dot get method. Get method is to retrieve. Why get method? In the in the Java, you can able to see get mapping I have returned. Get mapping I have returned. Retrieve the data. So here get method. Obvious dot get. Then the URL you have to give the same URL which is here. You can give it. Okay, and then get mapping. This URL is a string, so just use double quotes to that. No data you want to pass, so empty flower brace, then dot, then function will have arrow function as a first parameter, then arrow function will have the res as a response data, then inside as usual, we can say alert res dot data. So it will be getting filtered into the alert, whatever is coming inside. And the same I want to print in the set in the result. So set the result to res dot data. So I'm setting the value to result. Now, when the first time the page is running, the result is null, so it will get the data to set. But once the data is set in this line, the page will get re-rendered. Re-rendered means again loading. Okay, not refreshing, again writing the page. Okay, that is the speciality of the stateful component. Whenever you are changing the value of the stateful component, the page will get re-rendered. So when second time the page is re-rendered, this result will not be null because it is already setted. So this function will be skipped and then it will come down. Here, before return, I am going to write if result equal to null. That means very first time it will be null. On that time, I'm going to say data is fetching. Very first time when it is running, it will be null. So I'm going to say data is fetching. When it is rendered for the second time, else part, in the else part, I'm going to have a div. So in the else part, the result will be filled already. The result will be filled already. So this result I can loop it because it is nothing but the list of product which is returned. Any list can be looped by map method. So I'm going to do that result dot map. So this result dot map is a JavaScript, but I'm writing inside the HTML. So I need to use flower brace to represent this. Okay. Now result.map is a function. Map also similar to then function, it is having arrow function as the first parameter. Arrow function as the first parameter. Then inside arrow function, similar to res, you are having element. Element corresponds to current element. Current element. That means if there is 5 data in the list, 5 times it will do. And every time the current data is the element. Now inside the flower base, just give enter. What you have to do with the element. Okay. And you want to return the value of the element to the page. That means you have to write HTML. HTML cannot be returned inside the flower base. Okay, we are currently inside the flower base. So I have to write the return block to write the HTML. So inside the return block, I'm going to say div. Then this div is going to open and close. Here inside the return block, I can write inside the div whatever I want to return. So I want to return this in a table format, and I want to create the table outside the loop, because if I create it inside, 5 times the table will be created for 5 rows. So I don't want to do that inside the loop. So before uh, loop, this view, I will change it to table. Okay. And then inside table, I will have my first row, and first row will have th table heading, and first heading will be ID, and second th heading will be name. So 2 headings. Now inside the loop, I can change this div to tr table row. That means every time it will create a tr table row for every iteration. Inside table row, I can have table data. In that first table data, I want to display the ID value. I can say flower brace, because I'm going to write JavaScript here. I cannot write JavaScript inside return directly. So flower brace I have to write. Here I can say element dot. Element is a dictionary, JSON format. Okay. That will have 2 values. One is ID, another one is name, which is similar to the product class names here. Okay. Here product class is there, this ID and this name. Okay. So you have to write dot ID, and second one flower brace element dot name, flower brace close. Now table row will be created for multiple times. How many times the table data is there, that many times it will be created. Now this one we have to check it. This else block will run quite second time rendering, and the first if block will run first time rendering. And while first time rendering, this if condition also will be true. So it will request for the data and fill the result. Once the result is filled, it will re-render. While re-rendering, it will be not true. So it will skip, and here also it will skip. So this return will get into impact on the second rendering. It will display the table. Now I'm just going to check this. I will write in main.jsx show instead of delete, and I will import show. Show is imported. I saved. Now I will check here immediately. I'm getting ID and name and product data here on the show page. Okay. Why alert box I'm getting directly means because I'm directly running this and displaying in the alert, right? If you don't want to get that alert, just remove this alert, save it. You will not get the alert, you will get only the data table. You can ask why data is fetching is not displayed. Actually, it is displayed. in a very quick milliseconds and changing to second one. I want to have a border for this table, so just put border equal to 1. Save it and check it out. Now you are having border of the table. Now I want to check the data. When I'm having two datas, uh, will it get two? So just go to your main.jsx and just call the insert page again and go here, insert one more data, one and product one, because one is not there. Okay, product one, and click on save. It is saying save successful. Then go back, call the show page, save it, and go to your page. You will get two datas which are available in the database here. Okay, two datas available in the database, and same two data got displayed. This is how the React will interact with the front end. Okay, I hope so you understood the experiment. With this, I'm stopping. Thank you.